folks, and welcome to the front lines in the battle against the deep state, the cabal, the Illuminonkeys, and all those that wish to enslave all of humanity for their own selfish reasons. And another day, and we're looking at the global reset. The world is going through a global reset, says the World Economic Forum, right? And they have a plan. They have a plan for all of us. Do you think maybe we might have known that? Maybe that they had some kind of plan? Now, they're currently saying this is we have this horrible, horrible COVID thing that's happening to the world. We can't let an emergency like this go to waste, so let's go ahead and let's reshape the world in a reset. Fantastic, right? Exactly what we need from them. The ones that basically brought us into this position, the ones that have been forcing us to be in the overall lockdown position, overall setting up the world to where it's going to deal with the COVID with fake mask scenarios, fake distancing scenarios that don't work, right? Just to show that they have their say, that we are the ones that have to listen to what they suggest. And of course, we have the fight, the battle against the deep state by the leader Trump. It's heading a 193 country coalition. That means 193 countries that are in the United Nations are all on board fighting this invisible enemy. Amazing, right? We've come around to this. So now we're going to go over this World Economic Forum push for January 2021. They're going to meet globally and social distance themselves with doing this remote system, right? They're all going to be 1,400 locations around the world, all tuning in. Maybe they're using Zoom. I'm not sure, but they are making their voices heard. So I do want to discuss a couple of things that have happened. Some news items, you might say. This is coming from my banker friends in England, and what was said was kind of interesting. This was from basically 2 days ago. I wanted to let it sit a day to see if there's any more news coming out, get more clarity on it. But there is apparently in America, specifically America, 1.2 billion in consumer debt being paid off around at a rate of 1.2 billion an hour. Basically, paid off debt. How is that happening? Especially if it's only America. Now, we, that follow this program might be thinking it's Kim. Good question to ask, right? This Sunday, get to the meeting. Look at the LifeForce app and make sure that you're there. And let's see if we can get this question asked from Kim. See if she knows anything about this. Very, very unusual. The other thing that was interesting was a friend of one of my banker friends there said that she was called in by her bank in Switzerland to come in and exchange all of her money for new money, new dollars, actually. Two things going on. Now, does this have anything to do with what Kim is going on? I do not know. But they are interesting, right? This is not, the individual that's called in to change their money. It's not small amounts. It's very big accounts. Now, my first thought. Now, consider two things, right? Number one, the cabal system, the deep state system, needs money. Where are they going to get it? Well, I don't know. Just guessing, is it possible that they're putting out their money into this new money, right, and waiting for the reset to happen, right? Put your money there and reset. Meanwhile, they'll use this current money for whatever actions they're trying to do. Now, it is a bank that's doing it in Switzerland, so don't know. But it's just something that crossed my mind. So there is also this other piece of information is that apparently no new investments, no new money movements or anything until September 1st. So those are the three things that came about from recent activity coming from my friends in England. So again, just interesting to keep an eye on these things. In regard, let's bring it back over to the other side of the pond. What's going on in Washington, D.C. and Trump. I just saw another little thing I mentioned yesterday about this glitching that happened on the video from Fox on President Trump's speech. And what was he speaking about in this speech? He also mentioned the Obamagate. Right? He mentioned that there was treason involved. And this is big news. Was there any follow-up questions, anything about that? No. He also said, instead of anarchists, he said anon-kiss, right? After he said anarchist, yes, get tongue-tied. He said anon-kiss, anon-kiss, kiss the anons. So those things, but this video, glitching that was happening, I was looking for it today, and then I saw that, Fox didn't show Trump's hour-and-a-half video presentation today. They showed the question and answers with the press at the end. Now, maybe they were going to put that up later, but normally they play the whole thing. This time they didn't even show it. I had to actually see it on Yahoo Finance. So, again, what is going on there? Obviously, we know the censorship was to be basically geared up, increased, made, other than just banning and pulling things down. What else can they do? They're doing things, like I said, messing with the video. Overriding content. So, they can say, well, it was just a glitch, right? They can still claim they broadcast it, but there was a glitch. That's a glitch cannot happen. That's video encoders and things like that. Does not happen. It's not a hardware problem. Could be a software problem, but they'd have to install software to make that happen. And the software just doesn't decide one day to change how they're going to process video and overlap video. Doesn't happen. Just does not happen. So this stuff coming through is hard from the hardware through the lens of the camera, hitting the sensor, translating that right into the code of images and putting it into a stream. Hard encoded. Can't mess with that. Software taking what comes through and then putting it into another format, can happen, right? But in that translation, if it never glitched before, it's not going to start glitching today. So now they're just not showing it. They just went right to the questions. OAN seems to be getting all the good questions in. It's actually interesting how the lead in for the question happens. When she's mentioning she starts the question, right? It's kind of going down this way, and then it kind of jumps over and starts talking about this. I don't know why that is occurring. It seems to be a pattern, right? It's the new direction seems to be really the question we want answered. But anyway, I'm just watching these things. Okay, so let's go back over, and we're going to talk about what we found here. All right. Global elites announce Great Reset plan, and it's even more radical than the New Green Deal, or the Green New Deal. I thought it was a New Green Deal. Anyway, so I found a couple of articles and started looking through it. Oh, here's a video. I did not watch that, but interesting enough what they're really talking about, right? And just here's another one introducing their global reset world leaders' radical plan to transform the world economy. They keep showing Prince Charles on here every time they talk about this. But here's the actual proposal, this link, which brings us over to here. So we're just going to go right here. This is the World Economic Forum. So the actual website is weforum.org/great-reset/about. The Great Reset, a unique twin summit to begin 2021. The Great Reset will be the theme of the unique Twin Summit in January 2021, convened by the World Economic Forum. The Great Reset is a commitment to jointly and urgently build the foundations of our economic and social systems for the more fair, sustainable, and resilient future. So they start talking about sustainable, right? They start talking about that. We know that they're talking about people are bad. We've got to cut back on what people are doing, means cutting back on people. Because we can't sustain, even though this planet is so abundant. The vast amount of unused space, the vast amount of water, the vast amount of just, overall resources. There's plenty. We could have 1 trillion people, 10 trillion, 100 trillion people. It would be fine. And plus, we've got Mars to look forward to, or the moon. Don't worry about sustainable. Anyway, sorry, a little sidetrack. Let's go right back to this. Sustainable, resilient future. It requires a new social contract centered on human dignity, social justice. There's that word again. Another one of those, hot button words. Social justice, like Black Lives Matter is social justice, right? That's all about social justice. And where societal progress does not fall behind economic development. The global health crisis has laid bare a long-standing rupture in our economies and societies and created social crisis that urgently requires decent, meaningful jobs. The Twin Summit will be both in person and virtual, connecting key global governmental and business leaders in Davos with a global multi-stakeholder network in 400 cities around the world for a forward-oriented dialogue driven by the younger generation. So the younger generation that has been trained in these schools for social justice and don't understand how the world works and have been saddled with giant amounts of debt that are unfair because they give them classes for a couple $100,000 to go through college, and at the end of the day, they cannot use that degree, right? They cannot make money with it. So what good was that education? So these people saddle with debt. They can't get a job. They live in tents. Obviously, they're upset. So these are the ones they want to come out and make a new plan, which have no idea what to do. Oil is bad. Why? It drives the car that you drove here today in. Anyway, we'll get back to this younger generation. Okay, speakers for 1430 live stream. So, okay, we'll just skip the speakers here. Let's go down here. So, Geneva, Switzerland, 3rd of June, 2020, the Great Reset will be the theme of the unique Twin Summit to be convened by the World Economic Forum in January 2021. The 51st World Economic Forum annual meeting will bring together global leaders from government, business, civil society, and stakeholders from around the world in a unique configuration that includes both in-person and virtual dialogues. We only have one planet, and we know that the climate change could be the next global disaster with even more dramatic consequences for humankind. We have to decarbonize the economy in short window, still remaining and bring our thinking and behavior once more into harmony with nature. said Klaus Schwab, founder of executive chairman of the World Economic Forum. Okay, decarbonization. So to decarbonize the world, plants use carbon dioxide to give oxygen. No carbon dioxide, no oxygen. More carbon dioxide, more oxygen. Our oxygen level is too low. We need more carbon dioxide. Our carbon dioxide does not increase the heat on the planet. It does not increase the heat on Pluto or the other planets in the solar system, even if you don't want to call Pluto a planet, but all are rising in their heat levels, and no matter how many SUVs we drive, we will not cause the increase in temperature. So decarbonization, bad argument. All right, so what else was here? As I bringing more into harmony with nature. That means us living in the forest. That there's too many people, so we cannot put everyone in the forest. So we need less people. These are sick people. In order to secure our future and to prosper, what do they mean by prosper? We need to evolve our economic model and put people and the planet at the heart of the global value of creation. Well, we do definitely have to have a new economic model, no doubt, because the economic model that we're in is what's causing all of our issues. This debt-based system is what causes us to be in scarcity mode all the time. Not enough money to afford things. Can't afford food, can't afford electricity, can't afford health care. Health care would never be an issue if we didn't have debt-based money. Hard to believe it's as simple as that, but that's it. Don't borrow from a central bank. Countries can print their own money, don't have to borrow it from anyone. Countries doing well, countries doing good trade with other countries, no problem in trading those individual country monies for other country monies if you're going around. The market will figure its way out. So we do need a new system. Right? If there is one critical lesson to learn from this crisis, is that we need to put nature in the heart of how we operate. Well, it's not natural for us to borrow money at interest. That's a parasitical system. It sucks the life out of everyone. So yes, we do need to get rid of that. We simply can't waste more time, said HRH, the Prince of Wales. Yes, we can waste more time on anything that they want to do. All right, the Great Reset is a welcome recognition that this is human tragedy must be a wake-up call. Well, it's a wake-up call to notice that who did it and why they did it, and how much of it is true and how much of it is a lie. This is our wake-up call, the Great Awakening. All right, we must build more equal, all right, inclusive and sustainable economies and societies that are more resilient in the face of pandemics. Equal means what? Equal distribution, everybody's the same. This is a fallacy. People are not the same. Look in the mirror. Oh, if you're all wearing a mask, then everyone's the same. Everyone's wearing goggles and a mask, everyone's the same. Everyone's wearing a biohazard suit or stormtrooper armor, everyone's the same. No way of thinking independently, everyone's the same. Everyone equal. People are not equal. People are better on some things than others. Some people are worse on some things than others. There is no equality in that. The only thing equality we have is the right to pursue happiness. So we're equal in that. Basic human rights. But for someone to come in and determine what is equal for everyone, there's already inequality. That will always be an unequal system. They will say who is the haves, who is the plussed, who is the ones that are going to get an edge up. Let's say, like in this case, we have what is the essential businesses can stay open. The non-essential ones have to close. Well, who decided that, getting a haircut was not essential? I know I needed a haircut. So, but the weed shops and the liquor stores, those were essential. I have a lot of people that would agree with that, but then what about the other shops? All right. So this is build a more equal. This is just definitely not the way to go. Anyway, I'll continue from here again. We must build more equal, inclusive, sustainable economies and societies that are more resilient in the face of pandemics, climate change, and many other global changes we face, said Antonio Guterres, Secretary General, United Nations, New York. A great reset is necessary to build a new social contract that honors the dignity of every human being, said Schwab. The global health crisis has laid bare the unsustainability of our old system in terms of social cohesion. So they're saying the old system, social cohesion, makes it unsustainable, right? We don't have social cohesion. Well, who's dividing the social body, right? They're painting the situation to make sure that everybody's divided. So, of course, they want to say, here's the solution. We come together all under this new system where we social distance, no love, no individual identity. You're tracked and told whether you can buy or sell. I don't think so. Okay, the lack of equal opportunities and inclusiveness, all well signed and in that sounding. And the only thing that's making things not able to have equal opportunities is the system, again, that controls the money. It's unequal. It's only the ones at the top where all the money flows to. Doesn't need to be that way. There can be very rich people because they are good at making money, but it doesn't have to do with being selected to make money, which is the system that's here. Nor can we turn our backs on the evils of racism and discrimination. We need to build into this new social contract our intergenerational responsibility to ensure that we live up to the expectations of young people. Again, they're appealing to the young people, right, which don't know enough, haven't had the ability to learn how to build a business. They've been restricted from doing this, right? They don't understand what it takes. They're too much on the government assistance, right? COVID-19 has accelerated our transition into an age of the fourth industrial revolution. Well planned, right? We have to make sure that the new technologies in digital, biological, physical world remain human-centered and serve society as a whole, providing everyone with fair access. It all sounds like wonderful, wonderful words, right? Human-centered and serve society as a whole. Serve society as a whole. That means everyone serving, meaning they're telling you what they want. You must serve, you must obey. Right? The global pandemic has also demonstrated again how interconnected we are. We have to restore functional system and smart global cooperation structures to address the challenges of the next 50 years. The Great Reset will require us to integrate all stakeholders of the global society into a community of common interests, propose and action. So when they talk about this, all stakeholders of the global society, what are they saying? This is just, does this sound like stockholders? Is this a way to transform capitalism? Well, everyone participates in this, so you all get a share. Does this sound like what they're going to be doing? Again, it'll be a pyramid structure. All of it will flow to the top. Very little will flow to the bottom. The small stakeholders will have very small amounts, right? And will that be the way that you get your universal basic income? I would say so. We need to change the mindset, moving from short-term to long-term thinking, moving from shareholder capitalism to stakeholder responsibility. Well, see, I I picked up on it right away. All right, so environmental, social, and good governance have to be measured part of the cooperative and governmental accountability, he added. Well, we do need good governance, right? Or officials that are going to be setting up the government structure. All right, this Innovative Summit will be the very different annual meeting, reflecting the spirit of the Great Reset. It will provide a unique opportunity at the beginning of 2021 to bring together a key global government and business leaders in Davos, yet framed within the global multi-stakeholder summit driven by the younger generations to ensure that the Great Reset dialogue pushes beyond the boundaries of traditional thinking and is truly forward-oriented. So this is what they're going to be pitching, right? They're going to be pitching that everyone should have a shares in these corporations, right? That they should be nationalized and then taken over, right? And this is always what socialism promises. Always the promise to redistribute the wealth. And it never, ever happens. So to do so, the World Economic Forum will draw on thousands of young people in more than 400 cities around the world. The global shapers community will be interconnected with a powerful virtual hub network to interact with the leaders in Davos. Each of these hubs will have an open house policy to integrate all interested citizens into this dialogue, making an annual meeting open to everyone. In addition, global social media networks will mobilize millions of people, enabling them to share their input while also providing them access to the annual meeting discussions in Davos. So one comment on this, does this not sound, when they're talking about interested citizens, citizens of what? The world? Stakeholders in the world? Is this the global effort to make one world government, one world citizenry? Sounds like it to me. They've done so well so far with like preventing war under the United Nations, right? They've been so good at providing prosperity around the world. Everyone has so much money. There is no poverty, there's no hunger, right? No, they've failed. So now they want the whole world? I don't think so. All right, let's continue. The announcement of the Great Reset was made by HRH, the Prince of Wales, and Professor Schwab during a virtual meeting, followed by statements by the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, from the IMF Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva. I don't know how to say her name, sorry. And continuing. Their statements were supported by voices from all stakeholder groups of the global society, including, I'll just skip through these. Well, let's see, let's just peruse them. Uruguay. Uruguay is interesting because there's a Bush stronghold there. If you remember, Kim also talked about Uruguay being where the Bushes were trying to, initially make a system that would be the new system, and she was to move all the assets into there. I was just pulling that out. What else is here? Let's see, Brussels, China Society for Finance and Banking, Bank of China, United Kingdom, USA. So these are people from the UK there, and these are people from the USA. All right, well, let's continue. In the run-up to the annual meeting, the forum will host virtual series, The Great Reset Dialogues. These dialogues are a joint initiative of the World Economic Forum and HRH, the Prince of Wales, contributions to the Great Reset will also be invited through the Uplink, the World Economic Forum's digital platform to crowdsource innovations for sustainable development goals. The map below shows the hubs of the world and the Global Shapers community. More than 420 hubs, 11,000 Global Shapers and alumni. There we go. Well, that's it. So now we have their plan laid out as their next phase. So we can see that this is stage 2. If you think 1 year, well, just before, was it October of last year, 2019, is when they start talking about this 201 event, the pandemic, the plan. Then they roll out now, here's getting all the kids around the world to come up and say, let's make a brand new world. Let's get together and we'll just break up all the companies. Everyone gets a piece. You'll all be stakeholders in the new world. In the end, you will get your steak, but you won't be able to eat it. It won't be very tasty. You'll be poor. You won't have any possibility of getting out. You will have to do exactly as they say. Stand in this line, do this job. No possibility for you to fall in love and have a family, because that will be taken away. In fact, families will be taken away. In fact, having children will be taken away and put into baby-making facilities out of a mechanical system. I mean, I'm not saying this as far out as that might seem, but the capability they've been working towards that capability of birthing people without mothers. So they don't want us to reproduce, right? They want us to reduce the number of people. Why? Because they can't control us. There's too many of us. That's what this is all about, reducing the herd. We're their herd. In their mind, we're just the herd animal. It's too big. It has to be called. So there's been so much out there that has pointed to what's been going on. But the good thing is that we're awake at this point, and there's enough of us that know what's going on, that we've figured it out, that we understand what the name of this game has been, that we have the ability to make a stand, and we are making a stand, and we have Trump as the leader of the world, king of the world, whatever you want to call him. But I trust that he's doing it for all the right reasons. He doesn't care about the money, right? He cares about the people. And that is the important piece of all of this. We have to care for one another. We have to do what we need to do to make this happen, to empower Trump with whatever he's doing. So that means voting. That means voting all Republican. And it's not about being a Republican or Democrat. Not at all. It's just that there's more on this stage. There's more Republicans that are, let's say 99% of everyone in Congress is a Democrat. I don't know if this figure is correct, but I'm just as an example, 99%. There might be 1 or 2 people in Congress on the Democrat side that are for the people, really, and they're not on the take, and they're not taking this money, this kickbacks coming from the Clinton Foundation and everything. On the Republican side, let's say it's 10% of the people are on the right side of things. That still overall is leading 90%, 95% of everyone in Congress is not there for the people. We've got to change that. But the best thing is the one party that has the most amount of strength in a 2-party system. It's not about coming with a third party. It doesn't work. But the Tea Party had the right idea. They didn't form a party. No. They formed a block of votes. Whether you're Democrat or Republican, join the Tea Party. That's what we have to do. We have to consider this the American bloc, the American ideals, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We need to do that. We need to come together under being American. Fly the flag. Be there for one another. Don't listen to what's going on in Fox or CNN. Look what's happening with Fox. There's enough alternative out there that we don't have to listen to. Yes, I know Tucker is wonderful. Sean Hannity, I love him too. There's some good people on Fox. But more and more, they're being challenged, and they are now twisting. There's only 6 media companies all acting in unison, and the truth behind what's keeping them all together is blackmail. We know what the blackmail is about. It's ugly, and that is why we're going to be able to take them out worldwide in this worldwide civil war. So I'm still working on the next article, Worldwide Civil War, them. But go ahead and watch the last one, Worldwide Civil War, us versus them. It's only 5-6 days back. We need to come together. We need to do our part. We need to do anything we can do to help one another. But we have to do it in a way that that is now. We can't push things off. I know there's things that are pressing, but doing the likes, do that, do the shares, pass out the video, especially the article, Worldwide Civil War, us versus them. Push this out there. Get this. Do what you can. I'm downloading stuff that I think is not going to last, and I'm uploading it again on my channel. Just to keep it going. This is not a time to pull back and wait for things to happen. Wait for the Savior. Don't wait for the Savior. We are the Saviors. We are the ones that need to make the stand. We got to do it. So please, let's do that. All right, let's do what we can. And actually, for those that did do, so I received one other donation for $29 yesterday. Thank you very much. Someone else sent me an email asking how else to send if there's no PayPal, or I could use a Western Union or MoneyGram, something like that. Just send me an email. My email is down below, or Telegram is faster. And so anything that you've done, joining the WWG1WGA.love website and for a monthly subscription of $8.88 a month, or even the $9.99 a year, that helps tremendously. So please do what you can. I am in need. The other business is on hold because I can't ask people to go to try and do something right now in which, under this pandemic conditions, makes it impossible to move. So I do need help, so please do continue to do what you can. But beyond that, if you need help in getting set up to do your own YouTube, please contact me. I'll help you. If you need anything, if you need to have a website built, contact me. I've put out advertisement for building websites because I built some really good websites. So anything to keep moving forward, we have to do what we can, and this is the time. Right? We're in the crunch period. The lighthouse went green. Green is a go. Trump left the White House. All the staff members came out to the lawn to wave him goodbye, and off he went to one of his resort, I think in New Jersey, that's well fortified, and he's giving his press briefings from there. So this is because things are under in action. Things are underway. There is these locations where the bombs are going off. Many, I'm picking up on stories where they're discovering tunnels, like in the one in Lebanon, tunnel systems being discovered. And there's actually firefights taking place from the tunnels. Interesting, right? So this is a war. It's underway. It's just that it doesn't look like any war that we've ever known, right? Or even projected on TV. This is not an alien invasion that we've known of. The closest thing is that movie, They Live, where the guy puts on the sunglasses and he can see that they're aliens, kind of skeleton-looking kind of people that are there, just intermixed within everyone, right? But they're there as parasites to feed off of the system and to take over the world. So this is what we're dealing with. We got to do it. So let's break right here. I again appreciate everything's doing. Keep giving the positive comments. Please do what you can to move the channel out and participate with me on Parler. Go ahead and click on that link below and join Parler and follow me there. And we'll be back tomorrow. Goodbye for now.